Hey guys, Gina here. I'm going to scrapbook this photo today of my niece. I've been scrapping a lot of photos of her lately, but her mother gives me a lot of photos of her, and this one is just super cute. So I decided that I'm going to go ahead and scrapbook this one, and it is black and white, and it came that way. I didn't do any photo editing or anything like that. So I've decided that for my main papers, I would use these two papers by Basic Gray and kind of add the color to this using the papers. And so this paper here is from the Plumeria line, and it's called Grandma Jane, and it's just got this like distressed, and it's got some polka dots, and they're like a light green almost, like that. And then this one is also from Plumeria. This is yellow wallpaper, so it really does look like wallpaper on that side. But this side has these like dots, these random kind of dots on that side. So I thought that maybe I would try to pull some purple into this. So try to do a green and purplish kind of layout. So I pulled out this paper pad by K & Company, and it's their, I got it at Ollie's, so let's see. I don't know what it's called. 4x6 double-sided matte pad. And it's Remake Lilac Lavender's matte pad. There you go. So it has these some soft purples and then some brighter purples in here. So I thought I would try to use some of that. I also pulled the Kyoshi paper pad. This is the 6x6 pad by from Basic Gray, and it has the distressing, which is nice, as all Basic Gray papers do, but it also has some of the colors, like this one here. This one really matches nice, but that's a pink more than a purple, but it has this purple piece here. And I just finished watching the 2Ps Use Up Your Stash video for this week. And this week, this is May, I'm filming this on May 23rd, so that video that was posted, Use Up Your Stash, this week, and it was all about layering. Like, I mean, the layering was incredible, and layering is something that I struggle with, so I'm going to try this. I'm going to try with this layout to do a little bit more layering than I normally do. I pulled out my little flowers, and these are just, I don't even know what you'd call them, like, these are not, I'm sorry, there are some flowers in there, but most of these are bows. There are some flowers. But in that purple line, so there's some soft flower, soft bows here. So I don't know, it's just the color. I pulled that out. And then I pulled out these Maya Road Vintage trinkets. And it has like these pearls. And it's a very, if you look here, it's a very dimensional embellishment, but I thought maybe I could use them. I've had them quite some time, so I thought maybe I could use them on this page. I also pulled out my doilies, my crochet doilies, and see if I could use some of them. And then I pulled out this I got at TJ Maxx. No, what is that store called? Tuesday Morning. And these are die cut shapes, and I'm not sure which collection they're from. They're Basic Gray, and they just have the same color scheme that I'm looking for. So I really don't know where I'm going, but I pulled out things that I thought would work with this layout, and we'll see where we go from there. So thank you guys for watching. Hey guys, so I'm going to start this layout by cutting the border strip, or that manufacturing strip, off of the bottom of this polka dotted paper from Basic Gray, and I've decided that I decided early on I was going to use as my background paper. And then this is a K & Company matte pad, and it's called Remake Lilac Lavenders, and I bought that at, oh gosh, I don't know, I think Ollie's or something like that. And then that 6x6 paper pad is Basic Gray Kyoshi. And I'm just figuring out my paper layers here. I know that I'm going for a kind of purple and green background color scheme that I want to use. The picture actually is in black and white, so I can go with any color scheme that I want. So that works out good for me. And now I'm going to pull out my knockout punches by American Craft, and I'm going to use this small scallop. And I'm going to punch this out, which it's going to be funny. I'm going to punch it out, and then on the final layout, you can't see this at all. So that's what happens sometimes with your layers. You layer so much that some elements that you start off with, you don't see, at the end. But that's the way it goes. So I thought I was going to use that, and I'm actually going to cover that all up with ribbon, so you're actually not going to see it on the final layout. And this dark purple paper as well, it's going to be very difficult to see on the final layout, but you know, that's what happens. So again, I'm just walking through these papers to see how I like them and how I want to lay them all out. I'm getting pretty happy with how this is going now and figuring out where on the background sheet I want that all to be. And now we're going to get to the point where I'm committing now. I'm putting it all down. And I'm sure as we go through this video I will pull some of these layers up because I won't be happy with what I did, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This was a difficult, it's weird for me, but this layout was very difficult for me to find embellishments to use. There you go. I pulled it up right there because I put it down crooked. So cutting off that excess on the side, as you can see. And here I just I was like, darn it, I put that paper down and I don't know, I didn't write down what it was. So that was that. I was pulling that manufacturing strip and figuring out like what that was. And I played with the idea of these paper they're not paper actually. They're actually cloth. And then I went to get some ribbon because I thought, well, maybe I'll use some ribbon. And I own this rosette kind of ribbon and I'm not sure who made it, but and I also have that lace ribbon there as well that I don't know. And this silk ribbon would have worked really nicely, except for the fact that I would have had to iron it, and I was lazy and I didn't feel like doing that. So that's why that went away. And then I thought, oh, let's go back to the doilies. Maybe we'll use some doilies. And I decide I don't use doilies at all. So I'm going to use this flower sort of ribbon. And it was either Webster's Pages maybe made that. I have it in every color they made, and I have such a hard time using it. Like I love it. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. I guess I don't know if you'd call it ribbon, but it's gorgeous. I used my paper that red adhesive that I used to put down ribbon, I wrapped it around the backside of the page so you could see me using my powder tool there just to get the stickiness off of it so the back of the page didn't stick to anything. And then I'm going to layer this lace underneath this purple floral ribbon. It's a very girly photo. Casey's a very girly girl, so I don't pull out the frilly lace and all very often. So I thought, well, this will give me a chance to use some of this up. So again, that red adhesive went over the back, so I just used my powder tool to get rid of the stickiness of that. And then I'm going to layer some of these die cuts that I want to use. That first one I put down there says enjoy each moment. And I'm just playing with some of these to figure out what I want to use and what I want to do. I'm getting pretty happy with that part, so we're going to commit. Yep, we like that. That's what I do. I'm like, oh yeah, I like that. And I paste it down as quickly as possible. You know, it's like, don't give me time to think because I'll be here all day. So now that I put that circular thing at the bottom right there, I'm like, oh, I'm going to need some more circular things. And some more purple, you know? So as you can see, that bottom layer of that dark purple paper that I was going to use gets lost. I don't use it at all. And then I'm still playing with the idea of these floral, these doily kind of things. But then I pull these Meyer Road. These are Vintage Findings Pearl Centers, and they're very, very, if you don't like a lot of dimension on your page, these are, and they're old anyway, so I'm not even sure you can buy them anymore, but they're very, very, what do you call it? The depth of them is very is good. I can't talk. Why do I even bother to you know? Anyway, they have a lot of dimension to them. Let's put it that way, and they do stick up quite a bit. So yeah. So if you don't like a lot of dimension on your pages, they're probably not the best bet for you. I pulled that little die cut there that says wishing your day blossoms with happiness and happy birthday. These are her birthday pictures, so I thought that worked, and it worked with my color scheme. And now I'm just going through a bunch of my journaling cards in the color scheme that I'm using for this photo. And these are from Basic Gray. They are called Green at Heart Writer's Block Journaling Sets, and I'm going to use a few of those and more of these pearl centers. And then here's my chipboard in that same. So I keep my journaling blocks by color in a drawer, and then I have my die cuts and my chipboard by color in this little IKEA thing here. So that's what I'm going through. Just going through and looking to add some more layers and some more dimension and things like that to this layout. So seeing what works. I really liked it. I should have kept those butterflies because I really like them. They do not find their way to the final layout, but looking at them there, I really like them. Doing these process videos to go back and re-record, to watch it as you're working and talk about it, as, and describe what you're doing is funny because sometimes you're like, oh man, I should have kept it that way. Here are some. Ooh, what are these? There's again some more. They're creative imaginations. They're called Marrakesh. They're die cut shapes, and again, they're very old as well. Part of my goal for this year is to start using up a lot of my old stash, which would be a lot easier if I would stop buying new stuff, but a girl's got to have some kind of vice. Scrapbooking is my vice. So I pulled out this, it's a light pink chevron. It's a light pink. Oh, heavens, Gina. It is a light green chevron. Do not adjust your set. I'm just an idiot and don't know my colors. No, it's a light green chevron, and I'm layering it with a piece of purple and white polka dot paper. And I'm still playing with these die cuts to see where I want to put them. And then I know I want to make my, my visual triangle with those 3 vintage trinkets. So, ooh, look, we're getting close. And then I thought I might use these little, I don't know, lacy kind of cuts there, but I don't. And here, I'm not sure what happens. I decide that I'm going to use orange on this layout. And I don't know. I mean, I do it, but, oh well. So just adding the washi tape and making the embellishment centers, and see how I use that orange. So those journaling blocks from that Basic Red Green at Heart set had that orange in it. So they're covered up pretty much with the vintage finds with those pearl things, but I don't know. It's a little weird. I finished a roll of glue dots. That's always good. So then I think, oh, it's got orange, so now I really need orange somewhere else, or it's going to look weird. So I add this little die cut up there, and it's got orange in it. So that really pulls the orange color out. Oh, dear. The more process videos I watch, a lot of people leave these hard squares, these hard right angles on their layout, and I don't know what it is about me. They bother me. Like, you see that hard square, like even above where Casey's picture lays. I don't know what it is. I just, they bother me. So I feel the need to cover them up. So I'm going to add some of that doily lace ribbon there. I'm going to add some of that up to that corner just to, well, there's an odd gap there too. But I don't know. I always feel the need to cover those hard angles up. Maybe because there's not enough contrast between them or something like that. Well, I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm going to get better about that. Leaving those hard angles. I guess on this page in particular, it was the softness of the page, I think, that really lent me to want to cover those up. And the one with Casey, the one on Casey's picture where that black meets that, I think that has a nice contrast to it, so I'm okay with it. But the rest of them, it's a very soft layout, so I wanted to accentuate that without having so many hard right right angles on the layout. So I'm using some LA Studio stamps here. They are called Hello Sweetheart, and one of them says you'll always have my heart. The other one says super duper cute. And then I'm going to use the hearts as well to fill in that space where it says super duper cute. And I'm using some Color Box fluid chalk ink and wisteria. I pulled a couple of purples out, but I decided to use wisteria. And this is a Studio Calico stamp set, and I don't know what I don't know what it came with or from. I got it in a like a grab bag sort of thing from when somebody was doing a D-stash, so that's where I got it. Again, I'm just checking the colors to make sure I like them and make sure the stamps stamp correctly the way they want. And I put a big heart there and was going to put a second big heart there and then thought, let's just change it up and use the smaller outlined heart to give it a little bit of interest. And I added that button in the upper right hand corner. I didn't talk about that. And now I'm going to go through and think about what I want to label this. And I'm going to, because we call her Miss Casey and it's such a weird thing for us to call one of our kids, I wanted to document the fact that she has that nickname. It's not really a nickname. I mean, it's her name, but we call her Miss Casey. And I was going to use these green sort of, they're, what do you call them? They're like glittery green letters, and I decided it's a little bit too much green on all that purple. So then I'm going to pick out, I'm actually going to use these Dear Lizzie thickers in the Splendid font. And then I'm going to use those. They're vinyl thickers, and I'm going to use those to spell out Miss Casey. And they're like a grayish kind of color. They're very, they're very neutral, and I thought they looked pretty good against that those pattern background papers. So just figuring out my placement for these because they were a little askew. And we get that title on there. And then I'm going to add some orange enamel dots because not only did I add the orange and make the layout obnoxious, I really need to accentuate the fact that I added orange and made the layout obnoxious. So I'm going to use some orange enamel dots for my mind's eye boy crazy. And I think the only other thing I do here is I add the date. Oh, it's not on the final pictures, but I did go back and add just with a Sharpie that matched that purple color, the date. And that is the layout for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave me any questions or comments you have down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.